Alright, guys, please do not look at my lines. And may I have your attention, please? Great. Thank you, Jeff. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Sorry, no ladies today. Thank you for being here. Since you all know me personally, I'm just going to skip the self-introduction. But I still want to introduce you to our staff, or actually vice presidents. Now, Tom and Jeffrey.
Thank you, guys. I'm Jeff, and this is Tower 1 Tom.
Great. Yeah, you have seen me around.
We're going back.
Okay.
Keep going, bro.
Yesterday, Williams asked me a terrific, please, my face, not my lines. Yes. So yesterday, William, the guy who's on the way, will show up probably in 10 minutes. He asked me a terrific question in the group chat. I'm not sure if you all have seen it, so I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to answer that again. The question was, will Chinese be allowed in this club? I'm not saying no, but since our goal is to become an international community where people from all the world are welcomed, I say we start preparing ourselves today by singing a language that everyone else can understand.
Right.
Okay, let's first begin with our club's name, Anteaters Self-Optimizing Institution. You may have noticed that there's a typo thanks to Kevin who pointed this out. Normally, I would just skip this, but I think this is a good point. Yes, I'm improvising. Because nature or evolution have forged the entity of sentient lives out of only one mechanism. Can anyone tell me what that is? Mistakes. We evolve because we have made mistakes. We evolve. We have space to grow because there are mistakes. Maybe when I'm revising this little typo, I came up with a new and better name. That's evolving, right? And as you can see, our club's name is Anteaters Self-Optimizing Institution. Do any of you have from math or maybe economics know what does optimizing mean? Yes, from the guests. Yes, Kevin, please.
Make good use of the resources, like make
Thank
the
you,
best
Kevin.
out of it.
That's what we're talking about. Thank you, Kevin. To answer that question, actually optimizing this word is derived from a Greek word optimum. This word by itself means best. And optimizing, you can understand that as the process or endeavor to achieve such state. So self-optimizing, you can understand that as the process of becoming the best version of yourself. But how, you may ask? Before you guys come to this orientation, maybe you are aware that the subject of our club is psychology, the science of mind and body, and behavior. You may have wondered why, out of all these subjects in the universe, why do I choose psychology as our core subject? To answer that question, I have to make a little demonstration. Can I have a volunteer from the guests, please? It won't be. It's simple.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin.
No, you guys will receive little gifts afterward. Is that better? Yes. Kevin, please, come on. Come on now, Kevin. It's nice to have you here. So, what's this, Kevin?
Ruler?
Yes, almost. It's a tape measure. Now, I want you guys to imagine that this ruler over here represents the history of Homo sapiens, humans, if you may. Come closer. And I want you guys to imagine that this very point represents the moment that our most ancient ancestors are recognized as humans. Would you hold this for me, please? And we are here at this very point. Thank you, Tom, that's sweet. And please tilt it a little bit so you guys can see. And I want you guys to make a bold attempt, bold guess, that when's the time that our society has transformed from we human has transformed from hunter and gatherers into farmers. When is the initiation of agriculture era? Is it here? This is the beginning. This is where we are now. Is it here? No. Is it here?
No.
Not exactly. You know what? I don't even need my second hand to indicate because it's right here, and no, actually not exactly yet. Because it's too short, I imagine I can extend this little silver metal here with my right hand 10 times, and that's when agriculture has started. You see, back then, back when we were hunters and gatherers, we spent around only 4 hours a day hunting and gathering, and we get to use the left 19 hours to what you can do. And after that, we hit agriculture. We went to the era of agriculture. You see that farmers now have to spend at least 12 hours a day, so they will not starve to death, so they would barely survive. And then we reached Industrial Revolution, where most people have become workers who work 15 to 16 hours a day. Can you imagine that? And 6 days a week. And that's like minimum. There was no minimum wage back then. But now, you can just sit at your home and earn thousands of bucks a day from your investment without leaving your house. You see that Mother Nature has spent 1.8 million years to forge us into efficient hunters and gatherers. That is 18,000 times longer than the history of agriculture societies. The changing rate of our environment simply exceeds our species' evolutionary capacities. In other words, we never had enough time to adapt, to accommodate to our changing environment. This is not an environment we are built for. Kevin, have you wondered why you are so easily distracted? Finding yourself thinking something else in the middle of a presentation. It's not your fault, not exactly. But instead, it's because you are born like this. You are programmed to get distracted. I know, you're doing a good job, Kevin. We are designed to be distracted because only then you can notice even the slightest change in our environment. Maybe it's an encroaching tiger. In other words, distraction just save your ass. But the problem is, nowadays, we don't need to worry about tigers. These things that only distract us is but advertisements and people who want to sell us stuff we don't need. That's why we need to know ourselves. Oh, Hi, William. I've just introduced you to our guests. This is William. Say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Take a seat, please.
Okay.
So we are in the middle of our preliminary introduction. Great. Thank you for being here. Talking of which, this is not the environment we are built for. We are, Tom, ready? We are designed to run! Tom! 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 Grab apple from a tree! Please, Tom. And catch a rabbit! Well, sorry guys, UCI laws prevents me from bringing real animals here, so that's all we got. Kevin, this is your reward, I promise. And thank you, Kevin. But by no means I'm encouraging you guys to drop off of your school or catch a rabbit. I'm just saying that maybe we are using our body inappropriately. You see that almost products today has a user guide, an instruction that tells you the function and purpose of such a device. Then how come the most powerful and sophisticated device on planet Earth does not have such instruction? Our brain, I mean. Well, as a matter of fact, there is, but it is not just a little booklet, but instead it's a subject known as psychology. And that's how I'm going to help you guys become the best version of yourselves, by knowing who and what you are. Thank you, everyone. In the following parts, Jeffrey is going to give you guys a brief introduction to our club. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. All right, Jeffrey, if you don't know me, William, yet, so I'm the vice president of this club. We introduced like 20 minutes later, you didn't come here. So now, thank you, Ryan. So I have to warn you guys, we do have some following parts. So if you guys interested in self-improvements, you guys are probably excited about it. But we do have some missions and rules and some stuff I have to go over, and some like housekeeping stuff. So basically, our mission, the theme of ASOI at 2019 fall is Willpower Instinct, which the book we all read. But it's core material it's derived from this book, The Willpower Instinct by Dr. Kelly McGonigal, a professor at Stanford University. The content from this book will be designed into a 10-week course, studied by and presented by the core member, which not only educates the mechanism and the nature of willpower, but also help the team members to incorporate strategies into their daily lives, and thus benefited from the rest of their lives. So this is just our vision for 2019 fall. We're gonna add more material afterwards, because we're a club, we're not gonna just last like one quarter, right? So we're working on that one. So basically, in this book, we also have like kind of like a study guide sheet and like some fun activities to do, which Ryan gonna introduce you later. And in 2019 fall, the club will work as a team to construct the teaching material and design the entertaining and interactive teaching style that got most of this course. Because we are not getting a lot of new members, we're not gonna drag people in. It's like, you know what, join our club. So people here today, we are the people we have right now. So we're gonna work together and make this club bigger, and we can help more people. So in our vision, ASOI will be an organization where each individual will find a path to become the best version of themselves. And in ABSA, the ultimate purpose of studying psychology along with appropriate strategy is knowing the self. Because in psychology, we usually just do like disorder stuff, like abnormal psychology is more like clinical. We focus on other people. And this time we use psychology to ourselves, for our own good. And I mean, like as a psych student, this is quite an improvisation Ryan came up with, and none of our professors actually suggest this. So it's a very first time thing. This club is in aim to train everyone into everyday scientists who implement science into their daily experiments about themselves and get to know their nature and potentials a little better each day.
Actually, William has a question.
Oh yes.
So, that means, the best version of themselves, that means our self-identity?
We'll say it's not our self-identity, it's more like ability. Because, identity is more anthropology, philosophical or anthropological problem. So psychological, we consider ourselves as an individual, and what we can do is more a psychology stuff. We're here to help you guys to manage time and make things you usually cannot do. Sometimes like maybe I'm too shy to do the public speaking, or we can use like exposure method to help you achieve that goal. That's what we do over here. So ability more than identity.
Okay.
Yes, that's a good question. So although we start the theme willpower instinct, our journey will never stop with that. That's like exactly what I said. We're gonna explore more. We're gonna add more material in there. Being capable to decide what to do even in face of ultimate temptation is only a beginning. More theme will be available as more members are trained into lecturers along with an academic peer review society, which not only fact check the materials, keep update with the result and new research, but also conduct research ourselves to aim to create our courses and maybe publish books. So this is a really long time goal. And you have to know that we're not all psych majors, but we don't have to be. We can help each other with that. Psychology is not rocket science. It's not that hard to understand.
It's daily life.
It's daily life. And what we're doing right here is more about our daily life, how to improve our daily life. So our departments, we do have departments. Participants, so everyone is a participant, from the president of the club to the guy joining the club in the first day. So there's no discrimination in this club, everybody's equal. For staff members, there's more challenges and opportunities to grow. So there's 4 different departments: Office of Education Presentation, Office of Academic and Research, Office of Marketing and Communication, and Office of Human Resource. The Office of, okay, can you roll back please?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's fine. So the Office of Education Presentation is our lecturing department.
That's why I go, here it is.
Okay, yes, it's a lecturing department. So it's a lecturing department. So it's basically design lectures, design workshops, creating presentation, giving lectures, improved speaking skills, taking the ownership of your own knowledge, etc. So this is one of the biggest division because we spread knowledge. So this is like the core of that part.
Right, just real quick. I want to explain what do I mean here by take the ownership of knowledge. So as you may have heard about the book Willpower Instinct, in order to create a PPT, I have to read it for maybe 4 to 5 times. And in order to present those things to you, I have to master it myself. That's what I mean, take the ownership of your knowledge. So it's not something you just borrowed, but instead become a part of you. That's how you benefit from this department. Thank you, Jeff. Please continue.
So it's kind of like, it's basically taking knowledge and then put your own interpretation into it, and then lecture it in your way. For the next part, Office of Academic and Research. So OAR is the sister office of OEP. They work seamlessly towards the same goal, present the participants a wonderful lecture and workshops. Here at OAR, you will have the opportunity to practice academic researching, practice peer reviewing process. This is one of the biggest process we have to do because not all the material we're going to cover is peer review, and not all the material we cover is worthy to cover. And the third part is explore wonderful new materials, of course, that one, and design your own theme for next semester, etc.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
So can you talk more about theme? I mean, the theme, the theme belong to our own knowledge. For example,
Uh-huh.
my major is physics, so I designed the theme of physics. Is like that?
Well, it's more like because this quarter we're gonna go with willpower. So next quarter, next semester or next quarter, what we're gonna go with. So this is like more like a new material, more new themes because it's we were like we're the Anteater batteries. We're the Anteater self-optimizing association. It's not just one book. So the theme is more like a new direction of our club. It's like every different quarters have a different theme, and it's all about make ourselves a better person. How to
Yeah,
optimize
and we also
ourselves.
need to consider the students, the club member in our group what kind of support they need, what kind of lectures they want to absorb or something. Physics might be too specific for
I
one
mean-
major.
So I heard that the CEO of SpaceX, Musk, I mean, I remember that he told about that he want to develop the psychophysics.
Wow, that's
Oh.
freaking cool, boy. I
Yeah.
love physics.
Wow.
It tells it's the science of truth of reality.
Yeah.
You're definitely more expert than me in that. I want to answer William's question myself. So you guys have been doing a very good job of summarizing. I just want to point out, as long as you're seeing, so imagine we have more people. That would be a better way to put it. Imagine we have more people, say 10 people under the academic research department.
Yeah.
So they group up into 3 groups. Each of them develop their own themes, and they are going to make a sales pitch in the end. So they will compete which one is going to be the most either an exciting theme or the one most popular. That's what we're going to use in future. I'm not saying that the rest is going to be just dumped. It will be, there's always more space to grow, right? But competition, like nature, makes the best better.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so understand the part? Okay, good. So for the next slide, where we have the Office of Marketing and Communication. Here at Office of Marketing and Communication, you will have opportunity to design your own website, because all the campus club, we need a website, of course. So design social media, we can cover Facebook, Insta, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever, and VChat, of course. So we'll also build confidence at speech and speech skills through tabling and handing flyers. So what tabling means is like we just set up the table. If you guys ever went to the Anteater Involvement Fair, all the clubs over there, they have tents and tables. So what tabling do is just drag people over here and then tell them to join our club and sign our club. That's what tabling means. It's a really challenging thing to do, and this can actually make you as an introvert. If you're an introvert, it can make you an extrovert really fast. So I highly recommend that. So and design posters. It's more art major. Tom can do that. And we can create advertising campaign. So that's what the OMC about.
Oh wait, I have a question about.
Yes.
So about the website. So do we need the programming skills to? For example, I use the Java to design a app or something like that.
It's all fine. I mean, the website, we already have a website on.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
even me, just a starter, I have no idea how to create a website. Then I use the one that with specific guidance. Feel free to do whatever you want.
Yes.
You always embrace challenges, but I start here, so I have to do that. If you
Yeah.
start here, aim for more. Suit yourself.
Your creativity is really precious over here. You can express yourself with your ability, and we really appreciate that. We need talents. If you got talent, we appreciate that. All right.
Okay.
So for the next one, Office of Human Resources. So here at Office of Human Resources, you will have the opportunity to grow as a conciliator, build communication skills, enhance strategy thinking, cultivate your attitude, focus on big picture, get to know all members, decide who to go to which position.
Well, almost.
Almost. Yes, because we do have a voting process that it have to be fair. So, etc. This one. And so for the next slide, our membership practice. So in class, everyone attend lectures in odd weeks. So 1, 3, 5, etc. So each quarter we have 5 weeks of lecture, and 10 workshops in even weeks. So basically that's kind of like a discussion thing. Off class, so staff only tasks that are associated with marking our vision a reality. So basically make what we're thinking possible. That's what we do. So for class policy, I know most people hate class policies, but we still have to talk.
Oh, Jeff, hold your horses, please.
Oh,
Let me take it from here.
okay. Thank you, guys.
Thanks to Jeff. Policies is bullshit. No! We are not going to have no policy. I feel like Trump now. Is that in a club like this, full of people, dreamers? Yeah, more like Trump. Okay. Well, that we are here to become the master of our behavior, of our own actions. We do things not because other people tell us to do. We do things not because Ryan says so, no, fuck me. And what do we do? We do things because it's the right thing to do. Eating snacks, checking phone, sleeping, skipping classes, speaking Chinese in class. I will say nothing about it. Nor will I render any form of judgment or punishment, because by doing these things, they have punished themselves by declaring to me, to the whole club that their willpower is simply too weak to constrain themselves from their misconducts. And willpower is exactly what I'm going to do next. Oh, this basically means we are not plagiarizing. Okay, I'll move to willpower. Whenever I mention that I'm working on a project about willpower, the nearly universal response is, oh, that's what I need. Now, more than ever, people realize willpower, the ability to control their attention, emotion, and desires, influences their physical health, financial security, relationships, professional success, and more. We all know that. And we know we are supposed to be in charge of every aspect of our daily lives, from what we eat, to what we do and buy, and yet, what's reality? In real life, most people feel like willpower failures, in control of one moment, but overwhelmed and get out of control the next. According to American Psychology Association, Americans named the lack of willpower as the #1 reason they struggle to meet their goals. Many feel guilty about letting themselves and others down. Others feel vulnerable to their thoughts, emotions, and cravings. Even the best controlled feel a kind of exhaustion that's keeping it all together and wonder if life is supposed to be such a struggle. So, is there a shortcut to take advantage of this superpower which can enable us, empower us to do the harder things? Yes. I introduce you Dr. Kelly McGonigal, professor from, well, not in real person, of course, from Stanford University, the author of Willpower Instinct. As a health psychologist, Dr. McGonigal, despite her young age, had more than a decade experiments of helping others improve their mental and physical health conditions. In course, The Science of Willpower, which is prototype of the book Willpower Instinct, new insights about self-control from not just psychology, but economics, neuroscience, medicine are brought together in aim to explain how we can break old habits and create healthy ones. To counter procrastination, find other focuses, and manage stress. Now, you may have already imagined, Jeff, you may have imagined the result of this course is quite profound. A class survey found 4 weeks into this course found that 97% of students felt they have better understood their own behavior, and 80% find this class, and 80% reported the class strategies had already been given them more willpower. Course evaluation commented this course as life-changing. The consensus of students was clear. Understanding the science of willpower gives them the strategies for developing self-control and the greater strength to pursue what matters the most to them. So you guys don't come here to get what I want you to get. What I want you to get is simple. That is what you want to get the most. Now, hope you guys are quite excited about the course we are going to introduce. And in the last part of our theme instruction, let's take a brief glance over what kind of material we are going to cover in the next following 10 weeks. Please, Tom.
Willpower. People who have better control of their attention, emotions, and actions are better off in almost any way you look at it. They're happier in their friendships, their marriage lasts longer, they make more money and go further in their careers. With willpower, we can accomplish the list of goals we often struggle to get done. That might be something like quitting smoking, starting a business, or something as simple as cleaning your room. Willpower is a general strength that improves everything along with it. In fact, willpower is a better predictor of how well you do in school or how successful you are at work than intelligence. If we want to improve our lives, willpower is not a bad place to start. It has to be noted that willpower is like a battery. When used, it slowly gets depleted. You can see that on college campuses during the final exam period. Students fill their heads with facts and formulas, pull all-nighters, and push themselves to study hard. However, studies show that these efforts come at a cost. During the final exams, many students seem to lose the capacity to control anything other than their study habits. They seem to smoke more cigarettes and have more emotional outbursts. They skip showering and rarely make an effort to change clothes. Dear God, they even stop flossing. People who use their willpower seem to run out of it, and that's not all. Trying to control your temper, stick to a budget, or refusing that slice of cake all draw from the same source of strength. This means that if you turn down the dessert, you'll be more likely to get angry, and if you manage to control your anger, you're more likely to overspend and not stick to your budget. Scary. But if willpower is limited, are we doomed to fail at our goals? Luckily, there are things you can do to overcome your willpower exhaustion and increase your self-control. Willpower is the highest in the morning and slowly degrades over the course of the day, almost like your phone battery. However, if you want your willpower to be full in the morning, you need to get some quality sleep first. If you are surviving on less than 6 hours of sleep a night, there's a good chance you don't even remember what it's like to have your full willpower. Being sleep deprived makes you more susceptible to stress, cravings, and giving in to temptation. So 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night is what you should be getting to get your willpower fully recharged. One of the reasons sleep is critical for self-control is because your brain requires blood glucose as fuel. Especially the front part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. This brain region has been associated in controlling behavior and decision-making. When we don't get enough sleep, our prefrontal cortex gets sluggish and less responsive. It's almost the same as being drunk. And if you ever had too much to drink, you know you don't make the wisest decisions. However, the brain scans show that when the sleep-deprived participants catch a better night's sleep, they no longer show signs of prefrontal cortex impairment. So while lack of sleep can impair the prefrontal cortex, there's a way to actually increase its size and efficiency. The answer is slow breathing meditation. People who meditate just 10 minutes a day build gray matter in their prefrontal cortex, and after a couple of months, their brains look different. But why slow breathing? The reason is it increases our heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is a variation in the time interval between heartbeats. To exert self-control, the heart rate has to go down, but the variability needs to go up. Studies have shown heart rate variability starts increasing as the breathing rate drops below 12 breaths per minute. For best results, you have to slow down breathing to 4 to 6 breaths. It's slower than you normally breathe, but it's not too difficult with a little bit of practice. Slowing the breath down helps shift the brain and body from a state of stress to a relaxed self-control mode. A few minutes of this technique will make you feel calm, in control, and capable of handling your challenges. If you're on a diet, it's a good idea to practice slowing down your breath before you start looking at that slice of cake. In one study where they were experimenting with a new treatment for enhancing self-control, 2 researchers were stunned by their findings. While they had hoped for positive results, nobody predicted how effective the treatment's effects would be. After just 2 months of treatment, the participants in the study showed improvements in attention and ability to ignore distractions. They also reduced their smoking, drinking, and caffeine intake, despite the fact that nobody had asked them to. They were eating less junk food and more healthy food. They were spending less time watching television and more time studying. They were saving money and spending less on impulsive purchases. What is this miracle drug and where can I get a prescription? The intervention wasn't a drug at all. The willpower miracle was physical exercise. The participants who never exercised regularly before the intervention were given a free membership to a gym and encouraged to make good use of it. They exercised an average of just 1 time per week for the first month, but were up to 3 times per week by the end of the 2-month study. The researchers didn't ask them to make any changes in their lives, and yet the exercise program improved self-control in all aspects of their lives. Exercise turns out to be the closest thing to a wonder drug that self-control scientists have discovered. It also increases heart rate variability, which we talked about earlier. If you tell yourself that you're too tired to exercise, start thinking of exercise as something that restores your energy and willpower, not drains it. Now let's say you decide to quit smoking. Everything is going great for a week or so, but then you suddenly find yourself with a cigarette in your hand. Maybe you felt stressed, maybe you just weren't thinking, who knows? It's best to be self-critical about it, right? Feeling guilty that you lit that cigarette will surely remind you not to do it next time. Well, the problem is that guilt is driving people back to the very thing they want to avoid. After all, what do you do when you feel bad? You do something that reduces the bad feeling. Usually that's the very thing you want to quit. So it's no wonder alcoholics want another drink, smokers want to light a cigarette, and dieters want to eat another slice of cake. Remember, everyone is bound to fail sooner or later, so it's important how we respond to this slight setback. Rather than telling yourself things like, "Why did I do that again? I'm so stupid. I'm never going to change." Start talking to yourself in a second person, as if you were talking and giving advice to a good friend. Basically say to yourself, "You know what? This is the process of change. Sometimes we fall off the wagon. Everyone is imperfect." So after a willpower failure, it's better to encourage yourself rather than criticize. After all, you're only human. Are you currently working on improving anything in your life? Let me know in the comments below and maybe I could help you overcome some problems you might be facing. Together we'll become better than yesterday.
Alright, thank you, China better than yesterday. I believe that now you are having a much better comprehension of willpower, or at least what you expect in the upcoming presentations. Here is our first willpower challenge. I want you all to choose one from the following 3 categories. Now, take a piece of paper and write it down. We have prepared, no, not this one.
Which is,
Okay, that's for later.
yeah, that's for later, but
Yeah.
I'll just have them all. You can write it in the back.
Oh, no, it's here.
Oh, you have like.
Yeah, I have a stick note.
Sorry. That's for later.
That's for later, that's for later. If you don't have pens, you can reach out to Tom. Tom has extra pens. Oh, that reminds me to meditate. I mean it. Yeah, take your time. It can be a willpower challenge. What is something that you would like to do off, or stop putting off because you know that doing it will improve the quality of your life. Maybe, I don't know, binge watching YouTube, or maybe like go sleep early. It also can be an I won't power challenge. What is the stickiest habit in your life? What would you do? Give up or do less because it's undermining your health, happiness, and success? It can also become a want power challenge. What is the most important long-term goal you would like to focus your energy on? What immediate want is most likely to distract you or tempt away from this goal? For instance, if you want to lose weight, then this gratification out of eating a piece of pie is the short-term gratification. But instead, you should focus on this I want. I will give you guys some time. Please take your time. It do not have to be many. It can only be one. Please let me know if you have finished.
I have a question. So
Yes,
about
please.
the question 3,
Yes.
what's your means about the immediate want?
Yes, like I said, short-term gratification. Like the happy feeling you feel, like why do you want, if say you want to eat a piece of cake, then why do you want it? Because you want, oh, I want the sweet. That's short-term. That's what I mean, the immediate want. And that's against the long-term goal, which is to lose weight.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? Mhm. Well, looks like you guys have so much you want to change. That's good. That's good. Let me know if you finished. That's a lot. That exceeds my expectations. Now, everyone, can I have your attention, please? Kevin? Yeah, thank you guys. Now, I want you all to close your eyes. Please, close your eyes. I want you all to imagine a life that you can exercise. A life, well, a lot of exercise. A life you can talk to anyone you want to, despite the background and personalities. A life you can get disciplined, and you can, without spending with a budget, stick to your rules and limit your watch on YouTube and other TikTok. Now I want you to open your eyes. I believe that by the end of this semester, that's going to become the reality. Thank you. Now, before you leave, please, if you enjoyed our representation and want to become one of our members, please come and register your information with town. After that, if you do so, you'll be officially recognized as a member of our club. One more thing. For those who are looking forward for more challenges and personal growth, maybe William, please come and talk to me or Jeffrey after the presentation. We will see what we can do for you. Thank you. Again.
Thank you.
Okay.